We've been looking at the fact that love is the foundation to create a healthy identity. It's the one thing that ultimately gives you the greatest value, worth, significance, and acceptance. And we looked at how relationship was designed for that love that God has for you to begin to speak into who you are, and so that his unconditional love can give you all that you need to be able to shine for him. And so last week we looked at this word shame, because shame takes away the glory. It begins to tarnish the value of who we are, and it questions our worth. I said that shame simply is the wrongness of being. The question is, there something wrong with me? And as we began to look at what happened in Genesis, and when Adam and Eve, they took of the fruit and they started to cover themselves, that's the first thing I want you to understand, that shame always causes us to self-protect, to hide. If relationship was supposed to be transparent and vulnerable, well, shame keeps you from that transparency. When you have to hide and always self-protect, you're always afraid that people will see your flaw. You're always afraid that people will see what's wrong with you, rather than rejoice in the glory of who you were created to be. And so when you look at this word self-protection, it's like putting a wall up. It's like not allowing people to come in. And as much as you think that it's keeping you from pain, it's also keeping you from the love that will heal you. And so shame causes you to hide. Shame causes you to self-protect. In fact, when God came into the garden in the cool of the day, looking for Adam, and said, "Adam, where are you?" Adam was hiding in the bushes, full of fear. And he says, I'm here, I'm in the bushes. And God asked this question. He says, "What are you doing there, Adam? Why are you there?" You know, it's interesting in that passage, because shame always feels that we're going to be judged. Shame always feels that we're going to be condemned. And in that story, God doesn't actually speak any words of condemnation. He simply asks questions. He's trying to help Adam self-discover. And he says, "Adam, where are you?" And Adam says, "I'm here in the bushes." And he says, I covered myself because I was naked, because I was afraid. I was naked. And in that passage before, it says that Adam and Eve were naked and not ashamed. And the sense of nakedness is that sense of vulnerability. All of a sudden, their transparency, their vulnerability was no longer seen as a strength. It was seen as a weakness. I spend hours with people, and I've realized that when people can begin to share fully what's going on in their heart, when they can be 100% honest, when they can share their weaknesses without being judged or being condemned, and that they can be encouraged and given value, they often leave my office just going, "Wow, I feel so great." And really, I haven't done a lot. I just simply have allowed them to become transparent and vulnerable. You see, that is an incredible tool towards your healing, towards finding the true self. When you can be honest with yourself, when you can begin to allow your true identity to shine. You don't have to hide. You don't have to self-protect. You don't have to be afraid. Because when God looks at you, he's not looking at your shame. He's looking at your value. You're his child. And so as you begin to understand shame, you begin to realize it's a deception. It's causing you to focus on a little thing and making it into a big thing. It doesn't take away your value. It actually is there to help you discover that you can live with your flaws. You can live with your weaknesses. You can be transparent. You can be vulnerable, firstly with God and with yourself. And so this is Steve Chua asking you, let the walls come down. Don't be afraid. Don't hide, because you're just hiding the best you.